I remember our headmaster, in class 8, you select the high schools you're going to. I can't forget because he used to say, you know yourselves, you can't pay attention to national schools. You'll be wasting our time. Just get yourself a nice provincial school. If you get marks for a national school, there is a problem.
CTA with Ken, video 1, take 2.
So I've got to understand your school, the Timau school. There's one picture that I want to get that I'm not sort of getting. It's a community around where you're living.
So yeah, it's a close-knit community. All the boys were friends. So from the school, I can count 10, 15 families that bond us were friends. So if I give a typical schedule, depending on when the schools are closed, it depends on which season. If you close when it's wheat harvesting season, then as the farms get harvested, that period, I liked going to grace because no one is supervising me, telling me, when you're there at home, mistakes are about to happen every few minutes, and discipline would follow. So when you're grazing, now the harvested farms, you take out your cows, you go to graze, and when you go in the morning, boys never came back for lunch. You'd come back in the evening at 5 before just they start milking. So that period when you go to do that, your core business is just to make sure they don't graze into other people's farms. But then you can do all manner of games, hide and seek, high jump, all manner of things. So it taught me a bit of, so all of us, all those young boys, Martin, Wanda, very many, that's what we used to do.
You would go and graze together?
Yes, so you just, each family, their cows get out, you go. And you go to extended place. That was my favorite part.
I've never grazed cows in my life. So I'm the phenomenon of this is, from the moment you're young, who teaches you even how to graze? Where did you learn?
So when you're young, after you run out, you're now maybe 3 or 4, just before you go to, because kids start to remember, I think, from year 4.
Yeah. 0
to 3, you may not recollect, but that is when you start being taken to school in the afternoon, in your compound, that half acre or an acre, where there is the garden, the family grassed area.
Yes.
So you'll be looking after things there, either whatever is at home. You'll be, if there is maize being dried up, you're the one to make sure that the birds don't eat. If there are chicken moving around, roaming around the house, the home, you're the one, you'll be just given simple things to make you responsible. If there are goats or sheep, and the young calves, you're the one to take care of them. Not taking care, there is nothing really you're doing. You're just watching which exit. They just don't exit and go to the farm.
Yes, I get it.
So there is nothing you're doing, or you push them to where they can graze. So as you continue being bigger, then you can move now to the farm. You can move to the neighboring farm. As you continue getting bigger, responsibilities are added. If you're doing, which I didn't like, if you have zero grazing and cows that are producing milk, maybe from class 4, you can wake up in the morning, you go to cut napier grass.
You milk?
You
feed them, you just feed them.
I don't know how to milk, you just feed them. So you'll be doing after a series of routines. And then if the farm has an irrigation system, so as you water the crops, you run the sprinkler system for half an hour, 2 hours. So you'll go and change from this point to the next. Just simple things. When people are farming, they are applying fertilizer, so you're given and you apply. There is no way from Monday to Friday there is activity being done. In the village on Saturday, Monday to Saturday there are activities. Sunday, of course, order of business, you have to go to church.
Okay.
That's standard.
No, but now when I hear you narrate this story, I'm like, imagine the amount of responsibility that you're being taught. You're being taught what responsibility is.
Yes.
And I can see that is a fundamental principle in leadership. You see, you talk about it like it's normal. In fact, you are off camera, you're saying anybody beyond Thika, this is the life they know. You get what I mean?
So, yes.
It's normal, and I'll always say normal is not normal. It's why I like hearing you are normal.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and again, you've talked about the community setup that you grew up in. So your neighbors could discipline you.
Yeah, on the spot. Yes, yes. Yeah, you could be disciplined by anyone. There is nothing to complain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like it.
But now you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. I'm like, now you'll get yourself a lawsuit.
Yes.
Okay, so let's transition out of primary.
Yes.
Take us through that. And let me understand the year.
So I got out of primary in year 2000. In 2000, I was in class 8.
Okay.
So I went Form 1. I was a mono in 2001.
So you didn't do KCPE?
I did KCPE.
I mean, sorry, out of 700?
I did out of 7. No, yeah, I did out of 7. No, yeah. I did out of 700.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, did you do well?
Yes, I had 511.
Oh, that's well.
Yeah, yeah.
Above 70, above average. I mean,
It's there somewhere.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So where do you go?
So I went to Kanyakina Boys.
Where is that?
It's in Meru. Then it was doing very well. It was one of the best schools. I think now it still is.
Oh, okay.
It was a provincial school. I remember our headmaster, in class 8, you select the high schools you're going to. I can't forget because he used to say, you know yourselves, you can't pay attention to national schools. You'll be wasting our time. Just get yourself a nice provincial school. If you get marks for a national school, there is a problem.
That's funny. So if it was national, you'd have chosen what, Kagumo?
No, it's the same. The school I went to is in the same category as Kagumo.
Oh, it is. It's provincial.
Maybe Mangu or things like those, Maseno school. So anyway, the guy made us believe
that don't aim for the sky, my friend.
No, he was practical. He was straight to the point. If throughout you've never gotten anything to take you to national, how does it appear once that you'll end up in one? So you better make great choices.
Okay.
Get yourself a nice provincial school. And my dad was very clear that he can't pay school fees and go looking for schools. So whichever school you're called to, that is where you end up. So I went to Kanyakina Form 1, Form 2. Then in 2001 and 2002, schools used to strike very often. And even 2002, the best student in the country was from our high school. Wow, okay. Yeah, I think he's a doctor. He's a doctor now. It's called Paul Kariuki. So there was inspiration that we'll do better. And there was potential. It was not a bad school.
Yeah.
The best student in the country was from that school.
That's true.
And I was in that school. So there was hope. Then there were many, people used to go on strike so often. So when you go on strike, you go home, your parents bring you back. So my dad said he had finished high school. And the only time he went back was either for academic session, he's coming to see how I'm doing, or there is a parent meeting, because then there is nothing else to take him to school. But now he was so often going back to school, take me back to school. He said, no, he's become a high school student. He's not going back. So I was taken out of that school in Form 2.
No way.
Yes, then I went to up school within the neighborhood. It's called Onterere Boys. I went there in Form 3 and Form 4. My mother was in the board of director. Is it board?
Yes.
BOG.
Yes.
She was in the BOG
board of
the
governance.
school. Yes.
Yes.
So I went there in Form 3 and Form 4. I'm proud of the school because it was in the middle of the forest. We used to wear a green uniform. You're in class, elephants pass by. You're in class, you see many other animals. And there was no fence. If you feel like you can walk, you do it. Then I think we did well, and I came to Kenyatta University.
Okay, wait. I have so many questions about this high school. First and foremost, I have to stop thinking about Nyanyuki as today.
Yes.
Because of your story, it's at that time.
Yes.
So even when you're grazing as a child, there's a potential of animals. Or that time you didn't choose that.
No, that's a farm area.
Okay.
Communities are there. There are no animals. Occasionally you will see anything, antelopes, hyenas once in a while. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
nothing to worry about.
because of the forest, the slopes of Mount Kenya, there's a lot of wild animals.
Yes.
This is not when it was fenced off or anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
But our school was in the forest. It's the high school. That high school
Yeah.
is in the forest.
And you'd see elephants.
In Scratch, they pass by. You move on. There's nothing to worry about.
Man, Africans and but that's the essence of African. It's the integration of wildlife and human beings.
Yes.
It wasn't that foreign to us. In school, did you know what you wanted to be? In this high school period, did you decide this is now what I want next?
No. Me, I was in school. I thought I would do well. And I knew one day I would be a business person. To say I had a career, I had a lot of no.
What?
Just in school, focusing on school.
So your aim then is to pass?
Yeah, the aim is to pass, yes.
And get now into university?
Yes, and the reason is, when I went Form 1, we had a ROCO arrangement with my dad. So he knew what, so he said, he gave me a grade. Like, I know you can get this grade based on what I have assessed you. If you get a grade below that, he assumes I was a visiting tourist in school. So the time I should have been in school focusing, I was relaxing. So when I'm home for holiday, now I need to be working because
There
in school I was a tourist. I was someone who is relaxed. So to make sure that my holiday I relaxed, so I met the benchmark. Now, the behavior during holiday was reflected on the pocket money. You know, when you're going back to school, you are told to write your shopping. You write, you exaggerate everything. Then he crosses like this, and arrives at a number. So, yeah, there is the shopping, and then there is the transport, and then there is adjustments for behavior. Now, this adjustment is where I needed to have. This adjustment is where I needed to have. This is where you have tea. At break time, you need to have bread or mandazi or whatever it is. Based on the deduction, have you taken tea in school? Lunch time is githeri. Tea time, you have nothing to take. That hot tea burns you straight to the stomach. So I wanted to make sure I have enough money during this period. So I would be in best behavior, maybe perform very well. And then now I would have enough money to
one-on-one on you.
Now is when I understand what he was doing.
Yeah.
But then I didn't understand. Of course,
yes. In retrospect, we see that's even why on this show our tagline is you never truly know people until you take the time out to know people. People can see you here and want this, they want the glory. They don't understand the responsibility, the journey that it's taken you to get here. And thank you so much for coming to share. So what do you get? Do you get good enough to go into Kenyatta University?
Yes, from the school. 10 of us from that forest school went to campus.
Yeah.
We all got a joint admission board. Admissions, we came to campus.
And what year is this now that you come to campus?
I completed high school in 2004.
Yes.
Then
the gap year.
There was 2004, and then you had to stay for 2 years.
Before going to campus?
Before going to campus.
Okay, wait. First of all, before this story, had you traveled to Nairobi?
I don't remember. Maybe through school. When I was in boarding school, there were tours that were being done.
Yes.
Go to Rift Valley, come to Nairobi.
But not as a family?
Not as a family.
This Nyanyuki was home.
Home.
Like at maximum, you're going to Nyeri?
I came to Nairobi for further studies. So I have my uncles around.
Yes.
I keep to myself. So even when the family traveled, I just like staying at home.
Oh yes, you're very introverted. But
yeah.
Wow. That's crazy. Okay, so 2004 you finished, and then you've talked about these 2 years.
So on those 2 years, when you finished in 2004...
Actually, wait, we're coming back.
Yeah.
Keep watching. This is a good one. Share this one with a lot of people because this one is a story and a 3/4. We'll be back just now.